Throughout history, we, as humans, have used the power of our minds to achieve incredible and amazing feats. In reality, our minds are simply tools we use to create our thoughts. And the quality of our thoughts determines the quality of our experiences. A simple shift in perception will quickly and easily improve how you feel and what you believe is possible, helping you to achieve all of your personal goals, even those that previously seemed unattainable. Join us now as we explore the vast landscapes of our minds. This is Mind Over Matter.
Good evening, I'm Mitch Friedman.
And I'm Brandolyn Jokiel, and you're watching Mind Over Matter, where we teach people how to use the power of their minds to feel better, overcome obstacles, and reach their goals.
You know, one other thing we do that I think is so wonderful, Brandy, and one of the reasons we do this show is we get to show you all these different kinds of modalities, healing modalities, so that you get to choose. So every time you watch our show, it's a great opportunity to just let go of all your expectations. And for today, you get to suspend your disbelief and just have a great experience with this wonderful interview that Brandy did. Her name is PhyllisHubbard with Radiant Health Strategies. It's an amazing interview. It's pretty much the whole show today, isn't it? She's so brilliant. Enjoy.
I'm here at Radiant Health Strategies with Miss Phyllis Hubbard. After battling chronic bronchitis for years and years, Ms. Hubbard discovered a way to guide herself to radiant health. She then went on to be professionally trained in clinical aromatherapy, Ayurveda, herbology, natural food nutrition or whole food nutrition, as well as Reiki. And so I'm so happy to be here in her office at Radiant Health Strategies. You're a massage therapist as well. There's nothing this woman does not do. She does it all. So thank you for being with us here tonight, Phyllis. Thank you for having me. Yeah, so you call yourself a synergist, and your tagline is guiding you on your path to radiant health.
Yes.
And so how do you use synergy in your clinical practice?
Well, I incorporate a wide range of modalities, everything from Ayurveda to Chinese medicine, Tibetan Ayurveda, incorporating massage therapy and all of those things. And so what I have found is that a lot of people have issues with a particular modality. So if, for example, there is a way to heal cancer, but it seems like the particular modality that comes from, say, Ayurveda is a little bit strange or sounds weird to the person, I intuitively can tell that they're not willing to go down that road.
Right.
So I incorporate synergy for that reason, so that people can understand. There are many, many ways to get to the finish line. People think that there's one way, there's one pill that's going to save you, and that's just the way. No, there are infinite ways to get to the finish line. Right. And so that's the one thing that I want people to really understand.
And I love that you've brought in all of these different things into a wonderful practice of guiding people to radiant health in all kinds of ways. And I love that word, synergy. It's really fantastic. It sounds like your practice is very self-empowering.
Yes, very much so. And it's a little scary for people sometimes, and I'm kind of a tough love cookie. So I'm like,
our perfect practitioner. We love the tough love cookie, guys.
I ain't gonna tell you what you want to hear. I'm gonna tell you what you need to hear. Okay, that's the way I work. So.
Ayurveda connected to research around the areas of disease.
Well, what I love about Ayurveda is that it breaks disease down into more of a micro issue. It's not about, when you really begin to study Ayurveda, you realize it's not about the disease. It's not about the cancer. It's not about the autoimmune disease. It's not about the bronchitis. This is something that I learned in my journey. People want to grab on to arthritis and make it a part of their identity.
Oh, yes.
But all disease is formed the exact same way. Every single disease is. So it really doesn't matter what the specific disease is, and what Ayurveda teaches you is that when you begin to learn the stages of disease, it doesn't matter what disease you can learn how to reverse the course of disease.
Oh, fantastic. And when you write the term disease, you always write it with a hyphen, so it's dis-ease.
Exactly, because I want the point to be hammered home that all disease is lack of ease in the body. If it is a heart attack, it is lack of ease that has chosen to manifest itself in the heart. If it is any other function, if it's arthritis, it has chosen to manifest itself in the bones and in the joints. It's lack of ease in the body. If you can wrap your mind around that concept and let go of the word arthritis and start treating it as lack of ease in the body, we can take that away, and then the arthritis and the cancer and the whatever can disappear.
I know that on some of the literature that you publish and all the different talks that you do, you talk about the 6 stages of disease.
Yes.
What are those 6 stages of disease?
Well, would you like to get a little education? Let's talk about the 6. I have a little visual.
Oh, yay.
So there are 6 stages of disease. The 6 stages are accumulation, aggravation, flooding, and then there's displacement, manifestation, and then the final stage is flowering. So we'll talk about them briefly one by one.
Okay.
So accumulation is the first stage of disease, and the reason why I have this picture here is because accumulation is that point. If you want to visualize a river, I always like to talk about a river. If you visualize a river and the river is starting to accumulate water, if you're walking by the river, you notice it, all you're going to say is, well, the river's accumulating a little bit of water. You're not really thinking about it. But the way I want you to shift your thinking is to see that accumulation as a stage of disease. That's your body saying, guess what? We're entering stage 1. I want you to do something about it now. I've had people say to me, oh, there's nothing wrong with me. I have had constipation for 30 years and I'm doing just fine. And so what I say to them is, when is trash day? And they'll say, Wednesday. And I say, well, do you keep the trash in your house, for that whole week and then take it? Oh, no, I take it out right away. I said, so you won't keep trash in your house for a week, but you will keep toxins in your colon for 30 years with heat and bacteria, and you don't think that that's a problem? Conventional thought is responsible for the advancement of disease.
Very good point. Point taken.
Point taken. I'm like, hello, constipation is a huge problem. Then when they develop colitis or diverticulitis, they wonder why. Well, 30 years of constipation will get you there. Okay? So the stage 1, the danger with stage 1 is that you don't really think it's a problem. You don't see it as a stage of disease, but things are accumulating in your body and letting you know. The beauty of stage 1 is that your body will crave what you need.
Oh, good.
You'll start to be like, oh my God, this is hard. Go to sleep. If you go to sleep, then you're fine. So when you feel something in your body and you're in stage 1, all you have to do is do whatever that thing is, and then that stage can get reversed right on the spot. But because conventional thought is responsible for the advancement of disease, nobody does that. And on we go.
Push through it.
They push through. I'm going to push through.
I'm going to have 12 cups of coffee.
That's right. I'm going to prove that I can do this thing because I'm Wonder Woman and I'm Mighty Man. So on to stage 2 we go. So now what's happening is our river is starting to get some velocity. And there's more water. And the plants, if you think about the plants around the river, now the water has risen to the point where the plants are starting to be aggravated by that. Okay? And so this picture is, you can see it's coming up there and it's starting to aggravate things. So a great example of stage 2 is acid reflux. Acid reflux is your body going, get it out of there. I don't have time to deal with this. I'm really, really aggravated. There's a lot of different examples. Nausea, heartburn. This is when you start to get a cold or congestion. And at this point, you are looking for over-the-counter stuff, and you're going to keep going. You keep going. You're not thinking about the fact that you've accumulated this stuff, that it's aggravating. You're going to take your little medicine, and then you're going to keep going. And so this is the last chance. This is your last chance without professional help to really address the issue. But since we don't ever do that, on we go to good old stage 3.
Oh, this is starting to sound a little serious.
So stage 3, we envision this river has gotten so much velocity and there's so much volume of water that now it's starting to flood over to the sides, right? And so if it's flooding over the sides, and this is why people say to me, well, I don't understand. First I had this problem, with the headache, and then, I was constipated, and then I had this problem in my back, and they see them all as different things. It's not different. When you envision something flooding out, what happens? Now that the water has flooded out, it can go anywhere. And where is it going to go? It's going to go where you are vulnerable. So if you have and that's why everybody doesn't get cancer, everybody doesn't get arthritis. It goes wherever you happen to be vulnerable. So flooding to me is a huge crossroad because you're really starting to get the message, but you're not doing anything about it. So if you would do something about it in flooding, it makes life so much easier. It makes my life so much easier when you come to me and I can work with people in flooding. But the problem is that conventional thought is responsible for the advancement of disease.
See, I got it.
This is really important to know. Because of that, what you're going to do is you're going to take a Prilosec and keep going. That's what you're going to do. And so because of that, now the water is flooding to that plant down there, where it used to be a problem that was local. It's now a problem that's systemic. And that is a huge, huge problem. So on to stage 4 we go.
I'm a little bit nervous about where we're going to
stage
here.
4. So we have this picture of this flood, right? Stage 4 is called displacement. Displacement means there's so much volume and velocity of water that it's just moved everything clear out of the way. Displacement is like this little house that's just floating down the river now. Displacement is huge. You are now in danger of developing full-blown disease. And I like to use a different visual aid for displacement. Okay. So here's a picture of the colon, right? Doesn't that look like what everybody thinks a colon looks like?
I think so.
Yeah, that's a typical picture of a typical colon, right?
Okay.
So most people that come to me say, oh yeah, that's a colon. And I say, well, unfortunately, that's probably not your colon.
Slap kick.
Wake up time. Okay, I don't really say it exactly like that, but here's the deal. This is a colon that has not been through displacement, okay? Most people have colons that look, you ready?
Okay.
All right. Most people have colons that look a little more like
Oh my goodness.
So you can imagine if this person is constipated, the putrefied fecal matter has got to find its way all the way through all this distortion, and the colon is doing this and distorting itself so that it can help the body. And so the body is a brilliant combination of backup systems. That's the best way to describe it. Now, if every time you eat you create this emergency situation, all of these things that have no power, viruses have no power. They're not even technically considered alive. Any biologist will tell you that. Bacteria have no nuclei. They have no power. Germs have no power. The conventional thought will make you think you got to take this to fight the germ. They're scavengers. If there's nothing for them to eat, they're dead or they're gone. Okay? So if you make your body a Hawaiian retreat for, germs and bacteria, they'll stay. But if you make your body the LA freeway at 5 o'clock, the germs are like, I'm out of here.
Right.
So this is really important to understand. So getting back to here, I asked a colon therapist about this recently, and I said, see these different distortions? How young can this show up in a person? And he said that as a colon therapist, he has seen this distortion show up in children as young as 6 years old.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So when I say displacement, I know I'm using this analogy of this river overflowing. I literally mean that your body will contort itself in any way it can to try and keep you alive. Your body's number one